Welcome everyone to some more Maplestory. And today is just going to be another EXP grind session as per usual. I'm 59% into the current level and I really want to get to the next level. However, I'm not going to be doing that on stream today because, you know, obvious reasons. But I will get closer as I usually do. So first things first, I have to set up all this. Guess we're gonna get started right away. And also I plan to watch anime later today, so that's why I'm doing this now as well, because not only do I want to do this, but I also want yeah, I have plans later. Okay, set up everything. Also, in case I forget to reactivate the holy symbol buff, I put this, oh, I forgot about this. Gosh, lag, please. Oh, right, I'm dumb. But anyways, like, I put auto buff on my little, following pet here. So now, I don't have to worry about, like, forgetting to reapply it. So if I did forget, it's automatically reapplied. Yay! Anyway, so today, just a relaxing stream. Just gonna be doing this because I do want to get closer to 250 so much. Even if it's only a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm obviously less than halfway there. And obviously when I reach level 250, obviously I'll be able to do the Labyrinth storyline of Tenebris. And new areas to get EXP at as well. And for this one, I'm not gonna pay too much attention to, what's it again? Picking up all the items this time because I really want to just get closer and closer to the next level. But even so, it's still like 20 levels away from 270 after I get to 250. Because, like, I keep thinking about, like, all these new areas of the story, like, current story so far is, like, very high level. And, yeah, I'm nowhere near it. I wish there's I wish... Oh, yeah, I did bring this up a lot, but it makes me wish that, like, Maplestory has this, like, function where you, like, if you only want to play the story, like, early, like, not only if, but if you want to experience the story early, like the ones that are locked behind really high levels, it's like there should be like a function in a game like Black Heaven. Although Black Heaven you're required to be like at a certain level, you know. But like something like early on where like players don't have to force themselves to create a new character and like go through the story for the unique dialogue. Like, I don't know, something that's like nice. It's a bit of wishful thinking, but it's like, because I really want to experience Hotel Arcus myself and like Karot, and obviously when it's released in global, Odium. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, in the MS Lore channel on the Discord, apparently according to what people were talking about, the Odium's like lore has been like dropped already in KMS. I think it's just a test server, but I don't know if it's in the main server yet. Probably not. But, yeah, I didn't look too much into it because I'd rather wait until we're closer to, you know, more, yeah, can't talk. Until we have more information, like the story actually being in the KMS servers. Oh yeah, for spoilers in Maplestory, I don't really care, but I'd rather wait until like the story's actually in the servers before I look into it. And I'm interested in like a lot of it. I can't wait. I'm also hoping that like Nikki/T-Boy is okay. Like, please don't do this to him. He only appeared in 2 storylines. Oh yeah, you know what's a little amusing? I wouldn't. Would I call it that? I don't know. I find it a little amusing that like literally an hour after my stream, I was on Twitter and that's when Nikki's voice actor like announced. I was just doing my own thing and just like was on Twitter an hour after my stream ended, and that's when the announcement was made, and I was like, oh my god. I was just talking about like who Nikki's voice actor, like not saying any names, obviously because I respect NDAs. But I was like commenting on like how we don't know who the voice actor is because like, usually the GM as community manager steps up to confirm the roles anyway. So I would just, like, talk about, like, man, it'd be interesting if we know who it is, or something. And an hour after that, the announcement was made. It's like, what timing? But a reminder that we do respect NDAs here because, you know, if an NDA is broken related to, you know, voice actors, well, they don't have the job anymore. That's essentially the quick version of the explanation. Oh yeah, and okay, so basically earlier before the stream, I actually recorded, like, the last part of this video I'm going to upload later this week. And, I mentioned it in the video in that final bit I recorded. But I'll say it again here. Literally earlier this morning, my power went out for, like, 10 to 20 minutes. And you know what's annoying? So the entire week, it's been very stormy where I live. And I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, that makes sense why the power went out. Yeah, sure. However, here's the thing. The power didn't go out at all during the days it actually stormed. Instead, it decided to go out on the day where there was no thunderstorm or anything. It was a clear sky. How did the power go out from that? Like, why? Of all the times, like, when it's actually not storming, the power went out. Oh, and also, if it happens again for some reason, the stream's over. Like, you'll know when the stream ends. Abruptly. But still, it's like, it makes no sense. So it makes no sense. It's like, why? But anyways, I was annoyed by that for like a good part of my day. So, you know, even though the day, it's only been like 2 hours since. Anyways, yeah, so other than that, I'm already having an okay day. Well, nothing bad happened other than the power outage. It just simply soured my mood because of the logic behind it. I know there's other reasons powers go out, but still, that one was like the worst reasoning ever. Anyways, we gotta change the subject now. So, yeah. Okay, Okay, I think, oh yeah, I was talking about like Maplestory lore stuff. Yeah, so basically for the most part, I honestly want there to be like a function that we could experience the storylines without having to be a very high level. Because it's like, because you know, some of the jobs have exclusive dialogue and stuff, and it really sucks that you can't see the unique dialogue anymore, like unless you level a character to that very high level. I wish there's a way, because sometimes you just want to experience the lore from a certain character, but you're like very bad at playing that character in the game, and it's like it's like forcing you to be that extremely high level on that character just to see unique bits of dialogue. Oh, there we go. All the Starlight Symphony is done. But one thing I keep thinking... Oh, I forget. Oh my gosh. I forget. No wonder the EXP grind is a little slow. I am so bad today. What is with my memory? Like, seriously, like, for the Starlight Symphony event, I missed 2 additional days. And the reason I did is because I forgot to click on the icon to submit the claims. Like, it makes sense if you guys see. Like, I missed 2 extra days because... okay, I already did all this already, as you could tell, total 300 out of 300. But, like, I forgot to claim all on the 2 of those days to get the stamp. That one makes it more annoying, because I forgot that carelessly. And I'm like, why did I forget to do that? I already did it today, thankfully. But I forgot twice now, and that's really annoying. It's like, why am I like this? Why am I forgetful? And now I have to press buttons like more often now because I'm forgetful. To be fair, I have like gotten myself used to a very particular routine in Maplestory that I don't pay attention to the obvious. Oh no, come on, stupid computer, why? Okay, hopefully that doesn't mess up the stream. Because something, like a thing popped up on my computer. It's just like, no! Because it's asking me to close my browsers, and I'm like, I can't do that. How am I supposed to read the stream? Chat. Oh, right, I forgot I have OBS layout. Still. Today's slightly a mess. Thankfully, on a brighter note, I will be watching an anime later. I think I already said it. No, I didn't say the name. I said I was going to watch an anime. I just didn't say what the anime is called. So recently, an anime called Given finally has gotten an English dub. And I'm going to watch it because I've been, like, interested in checking it out for a while. Because I've heard people talk about it, and I'm like, oh boy, I do want to check it out, but I don't know if it has an English dub. And of course, a few days ago, I saw the announcement, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, I get to watch it. So yeah, I'm gonna watch it later today. I was going to watch it yesterday, but it was posted at 5:30 p.m. EST. And I tend to not watch anime past 6 p.m., so I didn't watch it. It's not like, oh, it's like very important time I shouldn't like watch anime at, but it's basically because I want to binge all the episodes, I can't do it like if it's like late in the evening. But also like, it was like really, I don't want to, because like if I were to binge all the episodes in one, like at that time, like it'd be really late at night. And I didn't think I would be able to do that, so I didn't. But today, I'm going to be watching it. Can't wait. Gosh, my foot is like, ouch. Also, I did watch some other animes yesterday because I turned off my subscription for a while so I don't, you know, waste money. And I finally like watched some episodes and stuff I missed. So yeah, now I'm caught up with all those other things now. So I can't wait to watch Given. I really want to see it. Also, speaking of anime, there is this other anime I really do want to watch. Okay, it's kind of weird to explain. So basically, for starters, it is like a okay, let me. Okay, I can't explain what I'm gonna explain without context. So I have to explain with context. So basically, the anime I do want to watch is called Banana Fish, which is anime animated by Mappa, Studio Mappa. And obviously it's an anime adaptation of a series. And what I'm trying to say is that I know of a spoiler related to it. And the spoiler in question is obviously a emotional one. And I think it's a big spoiler, in fact. I think it is a big spoiler. But the reason I got spoiled, and people are probably going to wonder, how did you get spoiled? I was on Instagram one day and I kept seeing the post. That's essentially what I mean. However, and I'm saying I want to watch it anyway, is because, you know, I want to watch it anyway. Even though I know the spoiler, I still want to check out the series. And here's the problem. The anime is not on any platform I use. So I'm like, how am I supposed to watch this? I did find one place, like, I think it's like Amazon Prime Video or something. But I don't even know how that works. So I'm like, I'd rather wait till the day it's added on Crunchyroll or whatever instead. And it's like, But anyways, yeah. So basically the problem is that, like, I don't even know where to watch it. I did find one place, but it's like, I don't even know how that works. And I'm not gonna spend on Amazon Prime Video or anything to watch it. It's easier if it's on Netflix or something. I guess I could try searching again. But I checked like all like the streaming services out there, and it's like I've only found out the one I don't even use at all or bother with. But anyways, I still want to check it out. I know it doesn't have an English dub, but I told myself that I would be okay with that. Like, it's an exception. Because I usually watch English dub anime, but I do make exceptions if the anime in question does not ever have a dub. So, yeah, I still want to watch it. Oh, let's get this item. Anyways, I still want to watch it, even though I know the spoilers and it's only going to be in subtitles. But I wish there's an easier way to watch it somewhere. Like, it's like, why is it not on like something like Crunchyroll or like, you know, Netflix? Like, why is it not on anywhere that's like something I could easily access? I'll look it up again. Because I did search like, you know, a lot of streaming services, and I could not even find it. like on any other one. So it's like, how is this one anime that Studio Mappa has done, like, not on any platform I could watch? like all their other works has, like, it's like, you know, either on Netflix or Crunchyroll or, you know, whatever. It's like, but why not this one anime? It's like, how is that possible? I'm still not over the fact that I do actually know a spoiler related to it. Because, okay, the thing is, like, more specifically how I got spoiled of it. Okay, it's hard for me to even say the spoiler. I'm not gonna say it because of obvious reasons, but I don't even know the details of the spoiler. I just know it exists. And so basically I was like on Instagram a lot because I follow some tags related to like other works that have like queer in it, and or like either just simply hinted or just like, you know, it is queer media. So like I follow like one of the texts like I followed basically had like kind of did a meme where it's like this one anime made them really sad, but then this other anime made them really happy. And basically the anime that made them sad in question was Banana Fish. And alongside posts like that, I've seen more descriptions of the spoiler, and I'm like, oh no. Like, so yeah, that's how I know the spoiler. Yeah, as I said, I don't know the details. I just know it happens. I just don't know how it happens, like what specifically happens in the story for it to be really sad, or, you know, like, I don't know any of that stuff. I know the rest of it. Well, it's not the rest of it as in details. Obviously, I don't know the details. Yeah. I just don't, like, I only know, like, what, like, I just know one little thing. And the rest of it, like, the explanation, the events surrounding it, I don't know what it is. I want to watch it. Why does it have to be on a platform I can't watch it on? And also, no, it's not on my TV either. I literally typed the name on my TV on demand search and it didn't pop up, so. Oh, and speaking of which, I think I brought it up like 2 years ago or something, but yeah, that's how I watched Premiere, by the way. Like, it was on my TV for rent, to watch, and that's how I watched, Premiere. I remember, like, oh my gosh. I like retelling this story because of, like, how did I not know this movie existed for, like, a while? Because the movie Premiere came out in 2019. And its English theater airing was, like, in September, I think, of 2019, the first time. And obviously, it came with an English dub, obviously. I still miss one of the voice actors. It's almost been 2 months now, but I still miss him. We all do. But anyways, like, so, like, I didn't know about the movie until, like, early, like, March or something, 2020. And it's quite a bit of a story. So I didn't even know it existed. Okay, so basically I was just, like, doing my own thing, checking Tumblr. And I saw fan art. Basically, it's a meme redraw. And basically, I first saw this meme initially from, like, programming jokes. And, basically, to summarize what the meme was like, taking things literally. What's a good example? It's like a variation of the meme is like, oh, I got hurt in 3 different places, and it's like, well, don't go there. It's like, when that's not what the person meant at all. Like, it's kind of like that meme. Like, taking things literally. I just said that. But anyways, and, how else to explain this? So basically, I saw the original, like, original, like, photo edit of the meme first. And then, like, after a while, I saw the meme redrawn with these characters from the movie. And obviously, when I think back on the meme, it really fits the characters. So yeah, that's how I first saw the characters, and it was through a meme. And then, like, after a while, I kept seeing, like, these characters, and of course, for some reason, I don't even know how I didn't know the movie existed before that. Because I was just like, okay, so basically I was still on Tumblr, like, days later, and I kept seeing stuff, like, fan art related to characters, even though I didn't even interact with the post. It's like, it just started popping up more often. And I was like, after a while, I got curious. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna check out whatever this movie is. Well, actually, the thing is, I didn't know it was a movie at the time. I was like, whatever the series is, I'll check it out. And the thing is, I didn't pay attention to the tags, so I actually didn't know what the movie was called. Well, the series, actually, I didn't even know it was a movie. Yeah. It has prequel short films with it, but that's in the physical copy that was released. I don't know much about that. Anyways, the point being, so yeah, I didn't even know it was a movie. I didn't even know what it was. So I didn't even read the tags. So I didn't even know what the name was. Well, I think I think I sort of did pay attention, but I'm very, like, not paying attention half the time, so, you know. Like how I forget to restart the totem in the game here. Anyways, so yeah, I, obviously, yeah, time went on, and I was curious, I wanted to check it out, and I think the first time we've heard it was, like, what it was specifically more accurate, like, in detail, like, the fact that it was a movie and to begin with, was, like, I was, like, watching a live stream of, like, I forgot what the game's called, but it's, like, Shantae, like, the half-genie girl or something? I forgot what it's called. But it's, like, one of the games, and people comment that, Studio Trigger did the animations for the game. And that's how I kind of, like, knew more, like, heard about, like, Premiere, like, a little more, because people comment that it's by the same studio, and I was like, huh? And also, like, I think during, like, one of those conversations in the chat of that stream, they brought up that it's a movie, and I'm like, wait, it's a movie? It's just like, well, like, obviously I was shocked at the time, because I didn't know that. And what's even more shocking was that, how did I not know about this? It came out in 2019, and at the time it was like March to May of 2020. It's like, how do I not know? And also, another thing is, like, at the time, before I followed a lot more people on Twitter, I'm still following people on Twitter, like, at the time, I was already following one of the voice actors, and, yeah, for some reason, at the time, I didn't know that. I don't know why. I did notice I followed someone who voiced in the movie. I just didn't know which character because I wasn't paying attention, like always. And, wasn't paying attention like always. But yeah. It was like around the time when, I think like at that time it was like a watch like party or something for the movie. And that's how I knew more about it too. Blah blah. But anyways, yeah, so how did I not know this? I don't know. It's kind of like how I didn't know the Trails franchise existed. Even though I've been following one of the voice actors from Cold Steel for several months. Before I got into Trails. It's like, how did I not know this? The world may never know. Anyways, But yeah, so... Wait, where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about the progression of how I got into watching this movie. And then I think... Yeah, and then skipping over to June of 2020, I did, like, look it up on my TV because I've heard it was a movie. And my TV kind of has a lot of movies, like, even if I, you know, a lot of them are, you know, rent required. Like, it's fine. And I was like curious if it was on my TV, and it was. And of course, for some reason, the first thing I thought is, why is there 2 results? And realizing my TV had an HD option separately, so yeah, that's why there's 2. And of course, I didn't watch it at the time yet because of, well, you know, a lot of things happened in 2020. But I was able to watch it in July of 2020, and yeah, and I loved the movie since. I still haven't seen the short film prequels or something that's part of the physical copy. I plan to do that when I rewatch the movie in a few days. I will say it would have been sooner, but obvious, you know, what happened. I couldn't bring myself to watch it again so soon yet. But now that I'm feeling a lot better, I will be able to watch the movie again. And I really can't wait to see it again. Although I will say, I may have seen so much fan art of the 2 characters now that, like, it's gonna make watching it again a little, like, making me flustered. Because, like, that's what's gonna be on my mind while I watch the movie again. Oh yeah, I just remembered that, now that I reminded myself. Obviously, before I watched Premiere, I did see, again, I did say I saw a lot of fan art before I even got, like, interested to watching it. And obviously a lot of the fan art was ship-related, pairing-related, and, you know, ship fan art. And obviously my brain, like, reacted positively seeing the fan art. But of course, at the same time, I don't want to think too much on it. Because I'm like, I gotta see the series first before I, you know, like, start liking all the fan art and stuff. I guess that's one way I could put it. I don't know. I'm getting flustered talking about this. And basically, you know, people, like, you know, just ship a lot. It's normal. As long as it's not, like, questionable, or something. But anyways, so yeah, I saw a lot of the fan art. I didn't think too much on it when I was going to watch the movie. And I will say after I watched the movie, I could see where like all the fan art got the idea, from. Is that one way I could say it? I don't know. But anyways, yeah. And I don't know how to talk about this. It's so hard to talk about this because I don't want to go into like saying like spoilers if there are people who haven't seen the movie, are interested, and like want to check it out. But I would say there was one scene that really got like when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh. I can't believe they actually put this in. Basically, I know what's happening in this scene, but obviously a lot of us are like, yeah, that lasted way too long to be like just that. and yeah. Just talking about it makes me a little flustered because when I watched the movie, my dad was in the room, seeing the second half of the movie with me. In the middle of like the other work in the house. And when that scene happened, he just looked at me. And I'm just like, no, don't look at me. I was like, yeah, reacted. And the fact that I was looked at just Just when it happened, I was just like, no, let's see me react. It's like, I think part of me was also like, don't say a word. Please don't say anything. Because how else am I supposed to describe my reaction after that? Anyways, it's a really nice movie. Yeah. I really want to watch it again. Oh yeah, I remember when I first watched it, I didn't pay attention to the credits the first time. Well, not the only time actually. Because I was like, I don't know, I didn't pay attention that they had the English cast listed in the film. Because like for some dumb reason, 10 seconds after I watched the movie, I was like, who voiced this one character? And the character in question is, the person who voices the character voiced a character in Trails. Specifically Joshua Bright. I'll say the character name from Trails. And I'm like, so basically for starters, I did recognize the voice because I watched a lot of Persona 4 at the time. And when was it? 22? Yeah, it was also like, it was before, okay, yeah, I watched a movie before I watched the entirety of Trails in the Sky, so, yeah. But anyways, the point being, same voice actor. And I recognized it. And for some reason, my brain went, I forgot who this is. And so I actually had to look it up. It was interesting, it was like, kind of worth it to look it up. Because I never knew that the voice actor voiced so many characters. Because like, I don't think it's just voiceover. I think it's also like obviously other stuff too. But there was like 300 roles. Or somewhere around there, like in the hundreds. And I'm like, that's a lot of roles. I mean, I get it. The voice actor's been voicing for years. Like, over a decade. But still, like, that shocked me. Like, I didn't expect that many roles from, like... Well, the point being is, like... Yeah, it's like... They have, like, over a decade of experience. It makes sense that they have so many roles, but still... yeah. And also I can't forget that, like, I remember I was like, oh yeah, remember I brought up, like, as I said, I brought up, like, how I knew more about the movie, like, some little details from watching a live stream where people are talking in chat. I remember someone saying something in the chat, and, like, and I'm like, that's not the voice actor for the characters. Because I remember some people saying a different name entirely, and, like, when talking about, like, who was voiced in the movie, and I'm like, no, they were not. Where'd you get this idea from? Because obviously when I watched the movie, I recognized a good chunk of the voice actors. So I'm like, none of them sounded like that person. So I'm like, what? No, seriously. Yeah. I think that's enough. I'll talk about it. Other than the fact that I'm gonna remind myself again to watch the movie. I'm telling my future self that as well. Because I really want to watch it again. I genuinely do want to watch it again. It's just more of a matter of, will I actually watch it? Instead of procrastinating and being like, I will watch it later, and I don't do it. Oh, seriously, that's happened so many times now that I'm like, why am I like this? Just watch the movie. Also, I'm now getting hungry. Well, it's like 12 now, 12 p.m. Makes sense. Anyways, okay, what to talk about? Okay, I want to change the subject now. I guess I could keep talking about Maplestory, maybe. I don't know. I want to keep talking about Maplestory lore, but I don't want to like talk about Odium because I actually don't know anything about that. Like what's already like covered in KMS like so far. I mean, I don't think it's in KMS yet, like the public servers. I think it's still in the test server as of the time I'm streaming. I know people have been talking about it a little bit, but I don't know too much, and I'd rather wait until it's actually in KMS's public servers before I talk about it. Not like there's no problem like talking about it, because like obvious reasons. Well, the obvious reason in question being that there's no like limit to us talking about KMS test server at all. But I'd rather wait till like we have more translation and know what to talk about, like without making a mistake in our words. I can't feel my legs. Great. Now I'm at 400 billion EXP. I'm still like 237 or something billion away. I'm glad I'm so close to 250 now. That means I managed to at least get somewhere between 240 to 250 within this year. I have to check my video recording dates. Because they did do Celas this year, I think. You know, like, even though I'm slow at leveling, I at least get, like, within, like, 5 levels per year. Like, at least a minimum of 5 levels in Maplestory, even though I don't play so much most of the time. Oh, yeah, and speaking of which, okay, not related to the story, but, like, the house system in the game. My current goal now with it is that I'm trying to get the all the mushroom house collected, like furniture, because I really want to get the because I really want to get the 3-story house unlocked for it, and I really want to decorate the 3-story one. That's. Oh yeah, I did enter my like home in the game like before I start recording. But I'm not gonna show you guys like completely in the recording yet because it needs work. Yeah, it does need work. Okay, okay, I'm just thinking about stuff because I'm trying to think. It's like once I get like more of the furnishings in the update and stuff, I'm trying to think about like how I'm gonna decorate the house in the game. It's weird to say that without saying the word from this game because obviously I'm talking about the in-game housing system and not, you know, my actual house. My actual room is fine. And house. Anyways, now I'm reminding myself of anime. I really want to watch anime. Like right now. Well, I mean, I can. Like, I could just end the stream, but no. I want to do this because I want to get closer to level 250. Oh yeah, no one has yet to reach level 300 yet, by the way. As far as I know, I think the highest level so far reached in this game is 291. Oh, 70%. I should change the map soon. Not yet. Anyways, is there anything else to talk about? I don't know. I know it's already been hours, but I'm still annoyed at like power outage. Like the power going out. It's, oh my god, I just don't understand how the power can go out when like it's not storming and there's nothing wrong happening. I mean, I get it. There's the reasons out there, but it's like still annoying to me. Anyways, I'm trying to think of what to talk about. I can talk about the lore in Maplestory. I don't know where to begin though. It's like I can talk about it, yes, but it's like where to begin. Oh yeah, I guess I could talk about the adversary thing because I just realized that's like something that people on the Discord talked about. Like, I get that. I understand what people mean. It's like it's weird how every character is considered the adversary. Or, you know, like in the general storyline and stuff. And like how like I see some people mentioning it's like why isn't just like one class experiencing this story or something? Like because like it makes more sense if like an explorer, Cygnus Knight, or whoever is, you know, the adversary instead of like everyone like kind of like taking the role depending on who you pick. And I'm like partially, like, part of the reason it's, like, criticized is because, you know, some characters wouldn't be that, like, careless. Because, you know, it's in their personalities, like, to not be careless. Honestly, in my opinion, like, obviously the reason why they did it like this is because they don't want players to be forced to play a single class. Like, they want players to main characters, like, based on their, like, you know, gameplay preference. And like I guess like that's mostly it. I was gonna say the story, but you know, people could be interested in the other storylines instead more. Like it more has to do with just like the fact that like it doesn't force the player to be a very specific class to experience the story. Like, for example, it's like, oh, sorry, you can't experience the story properly here because you have to be at a very high level instead, kind of thing. Like, oh yeah, like a very high level of this other class instead, like let's say, for example, it's like, that's a good example. I guess it's like the Explorer, like, how like the adversary fits more with the Explorer class, and how it's like it would be kind of like bad is like if you're not like too fond of playing like maining an Explorer character, picking the character as your main, like you don't have to like the game wouldn't be like, oh sorry, you can't proceed with the storyline as this class, by the way, bye. Like it prevents that like roadblock, I guess. Like, so like you could still experience the story even if the character you're playing is not in canon the adversary. So it's kind of more just like for convenience, so people could So everyone could experience the story regardless of the character they pick. Of course, like, you would miss out on some unique dialogue for other classes, but it's like, it's not so bad. Like, in some way. So, like, it's the criticism's understandable, but in perspective of, like, not wanting to force players to, you know, play a specific class, it's actually really okay. Like, at least, like, that's what I think. And regardless, it makes me thankful that there are people who record the storylines and upload them on YouTube. Because there's no way I could get to 270 anytime soon. The moment I do get to that level, I'll be like, oh my goodness, it's been literally 300 years. Yeah, that's probably gonna be how it is when I finally reach 270. I don't like this one. I still get a lot of EXP, that's fine. Anyways, got my headset, ow. Anyways, I'm trying to think of what to talk about and I'm like not thinking. Anyways, I don't think of what to talk about now. I can still talk about my story, but I don't know what else to say. I'm very curious about Odium, though. Like, what's the story gonna be revealed there? Also, another reason to wait a bit before talking about it and looking it up is because I think, if I'm right, like, obviously the wiki adds the translation summary, detailed summary of the quest line. And then obviously adjust it to, like, global word, like, the global, like, translation stuff afterwards, like, just fix some pieces into text. And it'll be a while, basically. Like, I mean, like, yeah, it'll be a while. Like, how they did with Ellen Forrest revamp, like, when the storyline got revised, like, it took a while before they added the new summary to the story on there. Oh yeah, that should be happening soon, right? Like in global? Yeah, it should be happening soon, I think. Yeah, the Ellen Forrest revamp story, and the, oh yeah, and Chaos Memories as well. And I can't wait for that. Although unfortunately, I might not be able to do that because the rest of Chaos Memories are in Lamina, according to what I read. Like, Temple of Time, Esfera, and Lamina. So, Even it's probably not available till 2:55 completely. I don't know how it works. I just know that with it mentioning Lamina, I won't be able to do that. So I would have to wait and see someone upload a video on it instead from global. My throat. Oh gosh, my ears. I don't know what. Okay, it's so weird. Like, my ear is now going just like this weird staticky sound. It's like, how does that happen? And it's gone. Like, what? I don't understand things sometimes. Wow, did I really take 10 minutes before I could click record? Because my stream says an hour already, but it's not even saying an hour yet. Well, it's like 57 minutes, but it's like an hour and 7 minutes. Wait, what EXP amount did I start off with this stream? I forgot. Basically, it's a lot. Anyways, okay, okay, now I'm just like thinking, and I don't know what to say. Oh yeah, I just remembered something. It's not really related. Well, it's not even related to Maplestory, but recently I will say that I've been thinking about like VTuber stuff. But the thing is, it's like, it's kind of complicated for me. Well, not really, but it does require a lot to prepare. And there's quite a lot to talk about because, like, related to it, like what I want to do, and okay, so basically, I've been thinking about VTubing for a while, VTuber stuff, and while I'm like interested in committing to it, it's like a lot of layers, I think. Well, I mean, it's fine to just do, you know, myself and just have a model on screen, but I want to go through the effort of actually drawing and creating my own model because, you know, I'm an artist. Oh god, my throat. Hey, give me a second. Okay. Basically, I've been thinking about like if I were to do VTuber stuff, I would draw my own model because obviously I want to do that myself. But it's like there's a lot more than that because like, you know, you have to make the layers of the picture of like, you know, like you know how like most people like they have like the 2D animated look like 3D a little bit. Like doing that, but it's like I saw like a tutorial and I'm like, that's a lot of work. So I'm like, currently unsure. I know there's the easier just like PNG tuber, which is just like, you know, an image that bounces when you talk. Basically Discord's thing. Well, that's what I know. It's like, to do that, you have to activate it with Discord or something. But the point being, it's like, it's, like, I have to think about it more, like, I have to think about it more, because the thing is, I don't want to commission someone, because I'm going to draw the model myself, but it's also, like, a lot to put in, because I have to worry about the layer stuff. Like, because I know you have to make the eyes separate, you know, a lot of parts of the character separate, so it's, like, animated. And obviously well, it's not obvious to you guys, but to me, like, I'm not, like, an animator. Like, I could do something simple like a blink animation, but that's, like, it. Anything else is, like, out of my, area of talent as an artist. So yeah, but like I'm thinking about it. Oh yeah, but that's another thing too. It's like a lot of people have like this like for like their very unique character VTubers, VTuber like character thing, like, you know, like, people make stories for them and, like, makes them a complete original character. And I know some of you people are like, why are you worried about that? You have so many characters. Yeah, I talk about having at least, like, over 40 by this point. But the thing is, like, wow, now that I think about it, I really do have a lot of characters. Although, the thing is, a couple of them are actually named and designed, like, as, like, proper characters who will appear. And not like the parents. Like the parents, I think some of them count parents or characters who are not like important per se, but it's still a lot. But the thing is, like, if I were to do like, you know, create a character for VTubing and stuff, like the character in question, I would want to create an original character, a new one, because like the thing is like. Okay, so this is going to be quite a bit of explanation. So when I started thinking about VTuber, like, you know, the thought of it, PNG, image, or, you know, just PNG, whatever. I was thinking about, like, my own characters and how, like, for my series, I kind of thought, you know what, why don't I include, like, a character who is, like, a big, like, well, not really, like, big, but, like, kind of, like a known, like, content creator in the story. Like, made up, obviously, because obvious reasons. And I already created at least one. Like, I kind of added to their story. But, I don't want to use that character because that character's a guy. And I would want a character that's more closer in my range. Like, obviously, because... yeah. So I like thought about creating a completely new character whose acquaintances with that character in question. And oh yeah, I should probably also add nothing wrong with my character. It's just that like obviously if I were to do VTubing, like I would not want my own voice like pasted on the character. On a character, yeah. That's not really like similar to me. Although that's kind of weird to say because like your skinny character looks like a tsundere anime girl with pink hair. Okay. Anyways, that's what I was saying. So like VTubing stuff. I'm thinking about it. But like it's complicated stuff. But like anyways, like I wouldn't want to create a completely new character. Like I did create like a character in my series that's like a content creator, but they're like a male character and obviously I don't want to have my voice pasted on them because that'd just be weird. And my voice is clearly not going to be their voice. And it's weird because I created a character who's more based around me, except obvious differences. Because, yeah, obvious differences. But, like, but that character I made is not, like, in the story a content creator, and I don't want to, like, break the lore with that. So I thought, you know, why not create a whole new original character? And that character would be the VTuber in our reality, and on my series. And gosh, it's so much to explain because it's like I'm trying to not talk too much about my series because I put myself under my own NDA to not talk about it. Like, I can talk about my characters, but not like too like backstory detail or anything, like too much. Anyways, anyway, so basically, like, the ideas I have is that, like, how do I put this? Like, so basically, I got a brief idea for, like, the character, like, kind of, like, a thought about it. A story about everyone is perfect skull. That's a weird way of writing it. I don't know. I'm still working on the details because, like, it's still, like, it's weird because, like, I got the characters down. I got, like, kind of, like, descriptions about them, like, some details of backstory, but I don't have, like, fully written backstories yet. But I have yet to put a proper summary for the series. But, like, the most I have put for the summary is basically like the everyday lives of like prodigies or something, like teenagers. I don't know, it's complicated to explain. I'm still working on the details. What else can I say though? Because, again, as I brought up, I put myself under my own NDA to not go into too much detail. I don't know what else I could say. I guess that's, like, the brief idea. Like, it's basically, like, I don't know how else to say it. Basically, I could say I started this in, like, 2017, but I didn't, like, go full on with, like, detailing it, like, or start to put, like, more descriptions until 2018. So, I've been working on this for, like, 5 years. Although, technically 4, if the first year didn't really count. And I think, like, around 2019, I finally got designs for most of the characters. And I'm still making designs, because I still have other characters I haven't made concept designs for yet. Anyways, I'm still working out the details. And also, I kind of encounter writer's block a lot in art block. So that's also why it's apparently been 5 years since I initially started it. So, it doesn't help that I have classes and also, like, well, not right now, but I will resume the classes again soon. So, yeah. I'm still figuring out the details. Hey, what's this? Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, so, like, the VTuber idea I have, like, basically, I plan, like, I've actually been planning the character in question that, like, if I were to do VTuber stuff, like, what kind of character, like, Okay, I haven't really gone into, like, excessive detail, like name, appearance, and all that. But I have, like, an idea of, like, creating a completely original character to also add to my series. And, yeah, in universe, they're, like, a content creator in the story. Technically, they would be the second one I would create in the story, because I already have, like, one character who has, like, content creator stuff. Again, they won't be the VTuber, though, because, yeah. And it would take a while, because I would have to create figure out what kind of character I want to make, and all that. Oh yeah, another thing is that the series is like a slice of life. Like, there's no, like, end goal or anything, like, happening with the series. Like, if I were to start it, it would be, like, just like everyday things kind of story. But I would include arcs, that detail, like, specific events. I'm trying to think, is there a good manga out there that I know of that kind of does that? Okay, not a manga, but I do know a couple webcomics that are like that. I think, like, at least one of them I read is kind of like that. Like, it's kind of like they do their own thing, but then sometimes it does focus on a very particular event, and then it goes back to the regular flow of events. Yeah, I think that's what I mean. Like, it's slice of life, in the sense that, like, obviously it's just their everyday lives, and, but occasionally we'll focus on specific events. But of course, before I even consider doing that, I want to write backstory for all the characters. Okay, not everyone. Okay, to not make people think I'm pressuring myself to write so much, not every character will get a backstory, like, written out in story format. Some of them, it's just gonna exist, and, like, as, like, the form of, like, just small stories, but others will be more descriptive. Does that make sense? I guess so. Anyways, I put a lot of thought into this. But then again, I question why I'm so lazy actually committing to this. It's because I'm always so busy. I really want... Okay. Also, in terms of Maplestory right now, as everyone can see, I really want to get to 250. Not today, though. It's not gonna happen today, no. It'll happen probably within this month, based on my progress. Anyways, back to the VTuber talk stuff. I am considering it. And also, it, like, obviously, like, part of the inspiration, like, getting me this idea... Okay, actually, the idea has been in my head for months, but lately I've been really thinking about it. But it's also a lot of work. Also, I know that there's one person I watched the streams of who did transition to, like, being, like, on a VTuber, like, changing their whole account and stuff. But it's so weird. I don't even call them by their VTuber name at all. But partially only because there's literally, like, 3 other characters and people who go by the exact same name. Okay, not the exact same, but the same pronunciation. That I get so confused when people say the name now. And I'm like, this is why I either shorten the name or just call them by their actual name. Not in chat, though, obviously. Not in chat. I don't comment on stream chat anyway, so it's fine. I was like, because it's like, I get so confused when people have the same name that it's like... And also it's because I suffer from that, like, from school when I was younger, because a lot of people have the same first name as me, but different spelling. So it throws me off so much when the teacher doesn't say our full names to differentiate us. Cause I remember it's like it was only until middle school that I faced that issue where like there's so many people with the same first name as me. But we all have different spellings in our names. But what doesn't help is that like I have known 2 people with the same first name as me, whether it's spelled different or not. And the thing is, all 3 of us have the same middle name initial, which makes it so much worse. Cause it's like I remember like someone in my homeroom like for like 1 year of school had the same like first name and middle name initial as me, but obviously different last name. So that threw me off so much because I'm like, oh gosh. Also, I just remembered, like back in school, like high school for me. I'm speaking of which, like one of the people who had the same like first name as me, we both happened to have the same anime shirt. And that was crazy. So basically at one point I remember like wearing it and like someone who was like friends with the both of us, even though the both of us didn't really like know each other well, me and the person with the same first name, like a separate third party. Like I remember when they saw my shirt and be like, oh wow, you two have the same shirt. Like what was it? Well, they said it was like both a coincidence and not a coincidence, or I forgot what they said. But it's like it's a coincidence that we both shared the same name, and it's interesting how we both have like the same kind of shirt. And it's like, that's nice. Okay. But yeah, anyways, the point being, of like how that entire conversation started. I don't like when there's so many people with the same names. Like it's kind of hard to like, yeah. Because they all have the same names. It's like, oh, it's so easy to tell us apart. It's like, no, because if you say it in like verbally, I won't be able to tell. That's why, like, I think for like one VTuber I watch, I just either shorten their name or just call them by their actual name because they streamed before becoming a VTuber. So, well, that and also in voice. They're also a voice actor, so like when they're credited in voiceover, they're credited by their actual name, not their VTuber name. So, like that's another thing. So like if I were to talk about that person's anime roles, anime video game roles or whatever, like I'd say their actual name, not their VTuber name. I am trying to call them by their VTuber name, but I have to shorten it because there's so many people with the same name, pronunciation. So many. Oh, this is a different map. I thought it was the same map from earlier, but no. Okay, in 40 minutes I'll be calling it because that's how long the buff is going to last. Oh, my EXP, it's so beautiful. what else to talk about. I guess I could keep talking about the VTuber stuff, but I don't know what else to talk about. Like, I got an idea for like creating a character for my series that would be the VTuber in our reality, but nothing more than that. Because I would have to figure out backstory. Well, not too much of it. Just like a brief backstory, maybe. I think for some characters, I'll kind of make... Well, like... For some characters already, I already plan to not have full backstories because some of them do share the same backstory. Like, for example, I will say that like some of my characters have siblings. And there's not much different with their backstory. So theirs would be combined with the one character's because it's like there's not much difference. And also it's like they could just briefly explain their siblings anyway, so it's fine. And I'm hungry. I keep thinking of food because it's like 12:51 p.m. Also, I can't wait to watch this one anime. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch it like a little bit after my stream is over. Because I have to make sure like I got my stuff done with dailies. Oh yeah, speaking of which, obviously I do play Genshin. I think I mentioned that already. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When the power went out earlier for me, I'm at least glad I did at least do some of my dailies. Because I was like, if I didn't, I would have been even more mad. Because I'm kind of picky with, like, the resin I use in the game. That I want to make sure I use it before it's capped. And also with how that system works, I kind of have been waking up like relatively early every single day. No, okay, not too crazy amount, just like, well, to be fair, it's weird to say early because it's like, would I count 8 in the morning early? Or like 8:30, 9 a.m.? It's like around 8:30 to 9 a.m. Like, although the thing is, I don't really sleep a lot. Like, okay, I do, but it's like, I go to sleep around like close to 1 in the morning, and then I wake up like 7 hours later, because it's like, that's just how it is. Also, it doesn't help that the rest of my house kind of wakes up at that time too. So, like, well, whatever. Anyways. Out my throat. Okay. My throat is a mess. Anyways, oh yeah, and also speaking of which, I can't wait for like Genshin's next update. At this point, they're really heavily implying that Sumeru is the next release, like in the next update. So I really can't wait for that. Also, like the third teaser, like revealed like some characters that we'll meet in the story, and I'm like, I saw. Like, I see, like, 3 of the male characters in there, and I'm like, I really want to see them in the story. Especially, like, the tall guy in it. I don't know how the names are pronounced, like, will be pronounced in the dub. But, according to the subtitles, like, the guy's name is Al-Haytham? I think that's how it's gonna be pronounced. I don't know. People keep saying it's pronounced differently, but it's like, I don't care. As long as I could still say it in some way, and it's not like completely crazy pronunciation, it's fine. People are so picky with pronunciations. It's like, wow, it's like everyone has a different accent in their language. Duh. But anyways, the point being, I saw that character in the teaser and I'm like, I like this character already. I immediately was just like, I already love this guy. He only appears for like 3 to 5 seconds and I already want to know more about that character. Oh yeah, and also a friendly reminder that we respect NDAs here, which means we don't talk about some random fake nonsense people talk about. Because I'm so tired of seeing it, and it's like, okay, where's your actual evidence of this being real? Yeah, people do be like that. They like to break the rules or just make up stuff up so people could get to hype for nothing. Typical. Anyways. Yeah, I can't wait to see like Sumeru stuff. Like the teasers make it so, like it makes me so excited. Also, Sinnoh appears in the teaser too, and it's like, oh my gosh! And if you pause at the right moment, you see like his vision on his back, and it's like he's Electro. Making sure I do this every time because free EXP. At this point, I'm just like very EXP, like grinding, like focus. Oh no, not this. Okay, so the EXP amount I need is 627 billion. I said 637 billion, but that's not right. Anyways, trying to think. Oh yeah, I don't know. I would keep talking about like the from the teasers that I've seen, but it's also like I'd rather wait until like they talk about it more eventually. Well, based on like circumstances, it seems like Sumeru is definitely going to be next. So basically, whenever they do a live stream talking about it, that'll be when like there will be more known information. Known official information and not like whatever nonsense people make up, you know? Because I actually respect the NDAs. And you know, don't believe random nonsense people make up out off the top of their heads, you know? You know, the usual. And I say it like that because I'm constantly annoyed seeing people make stuff up. It's so annoying. It's like, the logic is like, people are like, oh, it's okay. It's like, they don't even, like, you know, because Unity or something. It's like, guys, that doesn't mean you look at, you make stuff up and stuff like that. It's like, people don't understand NDAs at all. It's like, or just like, you know, the common sense to, you know, not do stuff like that. It's like, ugh. Anyways, my neighbors are mowing their lawn. Lovely. Great. I just hear that in the background. It's annoying. I know it's probably not picked up on the mic, but it's so annoying when I see it, like the mic get picked up, like raise because of that. Oh my gosh, why? Why are they mowing their lawn? It's like, well, I mean, it's 1 p.m. now, but still. So annoying. Like, I think you guys could hear that. I don't even know. I don't even check because I don't bother. Anyways, I think I'm like thinking about it. And it's like I think what I'm most excited about is like with like Subaru stuff. It's like we get to see who the Archon is. Like you know, and I think I'm more curious about who the previous Archon is more than the actual current Archon because I don't care. I'm more curious about who the previous one is. Because in the third teaser, they name dropped the Greater Lord, who's the previous Archon, and that's like really interesting to see. And it's made me curious. And also like I don't know why. Also, I keep seeing people predict like stuff, and it's like Archon stuff, and I'm like, guys, there's no evidence of that. it's like it's weird if people are basing it off the hair color thing because like one, there's multiple characters with different colored hair tips now, so it's like you can't use that as an argument anymore in your theories, and the vision stuff can't work either because 2 of the Archons have fake ones. Well, I mean, they don't even have actual visions anyway, but 2 of them are wearing fake visions. And 1 doesn't. So you can't really use that to say, oh, Archon, because 2 of them are wearing fake visions. So it's like, you can't really tell much from that. And I know people be like, oh, then they're aesthetic. It's like, that still doesn't determine anything. Because I remember, like, when Inazuma was released, like, and from, like, the trailer stuff, people were theorizing, oh, is Yae Miko the previous Archon? No, she was not. She's actually just, like the companion or something. It's like, people... So basically, it's like people are making theories, and I don't believe them because, it's like, considering the whole Yae Miko theory people went with, like, back in Update 2.0 before 2.1, like, it's like, that's the, like, I don't trust any of what people are theorizing. Because if that theory was made, and it obviously was debunked, then I'm not gonna believe anything of what people are saying. Also, I'm more curious about a previous Archon rather than the current Archon. It's like they name dropped the previous Archon's name in the teaser, and I'm like so curious and like if that's gonna have relevance. Anyways, enough about that. Let's see if I could get 70% EXP. Probably not. I might end it off early, which is a little unusual. Actually, no, I don't think I will. Actually, I might. Because I do want... Oh my god, I just want to watch this anime so much. And I'm kind of getting exhausted from level grinding today. Also, I don't have much to talk about, so... I mean, I did talk a lot already, but I do want to... Like, I just got some ideas as well, and I want to write them down before I forget. Let's see. Anyways, oh gosh, my feet. Been sitting on this chair for a while. Yeah, I think I'll probably end the grinding a little bit early today. I'll be fine. I'm getting close to the level 250 anyway, so. Also, I don't have many EXP buffs with me, so it kind of makes sense that I would end a little early. I don't know if I'll do this again later this week or not. Because I do want to do like some art streams to kind of break the mold a bit. Like, do something different. Oh yeah, and hopefully, I just reminded myself. So, hopefully soon, okay, the thing is, it's not going to be a Let's Play. I'm going to play the game myself, but I really want to play Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. And, like, I really want to play that. Yeah, but anyways, like, I really want to play that game soon. I don't even have it, because the reason I don't is because I picked, playing the Somnium Files, Nirvana Initiative, like, instead. Like, because both of those games came out on the same day, and I could only get one at the time. So I prioritized the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative, than that game, so. So yeah, basically I prioritized getting that game over, over 3 Hopes. But since I'm done with that game, I should, like, be able to get the 3 Hopes now. And it's been a while, so I should be able to get it. I'm not going to do a Let's Play. I'm going to be playing it on my own time. I actually know nothing much about that game, other than there's, like, voice acting, obviously. More voice acting for, like, you know, a familiar face. At least, like, you know, a familiar face. So, you know. I don't know too much. I really want to check it out because I'm wondering so much about, like, certain things. And I keep seeing tweets with 0 context. So I just don't know much about, like, anything. Like, I'm seeing it. Oh, yeah, I did. I'm not gonna say much because I haven't played the game yet. But I will say I've seen a couple tweets with no context and just wondering, like, what does this mean? Anyways, okay, maybe a few more. Okay, I'll try to get to 440 billion, and then I'll end it. That's like a good point to stop. Well, if I could get there, it's taking a while. I really want to play that game. I remember seeing like at least like one trailer and being like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" Like, oh yeah, I did. Okay, I don't really know too much, obviously, about like what Three Hopes like is about. All I know is that it's pretty much like a separate like timeline or something of events. I actually don't know. I don't want to say something that's obviously wrong. Like, you know, like I'm like obviously don't know the story, so I don't really know, but I'm making a guess that it's like a separate timeline of events. I just don't know what that timeline of events are. I can tell like a little bit, like from just like looking at it, but I don't want to go too much into detail until I actually play the game. So, yeah. Oh, and also soon I'm hoping to play 13 Sentinels, and that will actually be a Let's Play, by the way. It's on the Switch. It's been on the Switch since April. I just didn't play it then because I didn't get the game, and I was very busy. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I'm just reminding myself. So like, mid-story stuff. Just like thinking about it a little bit again, and obviously, like, in Camus's new update, the Cygnus Knights are revamped now. Like, story reorganization and all that. And I'm gonna guess that the Resistance classes might be next. I actually don't know. I think that's just a theory based on, like, you know, the fact that the Explorers and Cygnus Knights got revamped already with their story reorganized. And also, like, speaking of which, I hope the hero classes get the same treatment. Because, like, they definitely need reworking, for some details, with some things. Cause, like, obviously for a fact, Aaron and Evan's storylines are so outdated. And they really need, like, adjustment. So I'm hoping that, like, it does eventually get to that point. Like, you know, revamp. Reorganization, I mean. Whatever. Whatever the word is, I don't care. The point being is, like, I hope it does get, like, changed up eventually. Like, maybe, like, the core of the story stays the same. But, like, updated with the present info, you know? Also, like, whenever I go to the MS Lore channel on the Discord, it's so nice to see that, like, there are people who actually do read the wiki. Like, I think some of the people on there edit the wiki, so makes sense. Okay, after this buff is gone, I will end things off. The EXP buff. Anyways, Oh yeah, another thing that just simply shocks me is that like I know I see a lot of criticism about the story, but the fact that like the part that shocks me more is the fact that there are people who actually experience the story. Like, cause like there's a lot of people who play this game that just don't care about the story. So it's like, which makes me sad because I really like it despite the flaws and inconsistencies half the time. Like I still really like it. Yeah, I still really like the story regardless. One thing I do wish happens eventually in the story is that like in Angelic Buster and Kaiser's storylines, I kind of wish that I sort of wish that that Angelic Buster reveals her identity to the current Kaiser, Kyle. Because I'm like, why? Why does she not? I get it. It's like, oh, it's part of the secret identity thing. But it's like, there's no, like, danger to it. Like, it's not like letting him know it's gonna deactivate her powers or something. It's like, come on. It's like, come on, story, please. Let there be a moment where it's been told. And in other words, this gave me the idea, it's like, fine, if the story doesn't do it, I'll write a fan fiction about this. Although the thing is, I will probably never share it because I don't. I've seen some, like, story, like, little, like, shorts that people have written about that. But it's not really much. It's only a little bit. Also, I'm about to end it here. Anyways, yeah. Okay, I'm done for today. Well, yeah, I have like a few minutes left. It's fine. It's like 8 minutes. Oh gosh, lag. Oh, person. Hello. Get in the portal. Okay, let's look at all this. I have so many of these. Still nothing. I'll do that later. Oh, I got 2 of these? Wow, I didn't notice. And a bunch of stuff. But anyways, I think I'll end things off here for today. Just, it's a little bit of a premature ending here because, I still have the totem thing. Can't change it. Okay. But that's fine. And, I got enough EXP today anyway, so it's all good. I have gained about like 11% EXP as I can tell from the bottom. And honestly, that is quite a lot of EXP. Because, seriously, I need like 627 billion. 30% away though from the next level. Hopefully I get to the next level before my classes start, at least to get to do the Labyrinth of Suffering. Because that is obviously the next area in Tenebris. That's not there. What's their quest? I think it's like, oh, it's the NPC, the daily stuff. I haven't really been doing the Moonbridge thing for a while because I was like, lazy. I cannot wait. Also, just to change the fact that I'm still many levels away from doing the, this, version. Because, Really high level. Really, really high level. Is there... Now that I think about it, is there easier... No. How are you people... How did someone get to at least like 280 if the EXP they're getting is not that high? Because as I brought up, the EXP, like how it works in this game, is that if you're one level like below an enemy, like actually no, if you're like grinding for EXP from enemies one level above you, you get like a lot more than usual, like EXP wise. So like it must be like really difficult to get like past 270 like 4. Maybe not. Well, that's kind of why 275 is odium. Oh yeah, the tower as well. Look at the planets, aren't they lovely? Man, I can't wait. But I also have to wait. Wasn't odium like technically in the sky? So I wonder where it is on the map. Well, time to find out when they reveal that for the thing. Anyways, it still sucks that it's like 20 levels away even after I get to 250. No! Not odium, by the way. I mean like Hotel Arcus and Carote, not odium. I wish, but no. But anyways, yeah, I'll end things here. So, next time, I'm not really sure. But, obviously, next time I'll be streaming Maplestory will probably be another grind session. Or, alternatively, I'll be level 250 by then. And I'll be doing the Labyrinth of Suffering. And new maps to grind for EXP at as well. So until then, that's pretty much it. So anyway, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all next time.